Right then, it's a quick walk around video this morning, and this is for a Honda CR-V. It's a 2.2 EX diesel. This is first of this shape actually, 62 plate. It's covered just 66,000 miles from new. Has a full service history, all by Honda, right up to the service we've just done on the car. I'm going to be a bit biased on this video. This is actually my wife's car. It's time for sale, unfortunately. She's got another one, of course. That's what we have. Kept the car absolutely beautifully. Just go around the car, finishing this lovely grey metallic with the, and this one's got the ivory leather interior, which looks absolutely stunning on the car. It's a lovely morning, low sun. I do it in the shade, not to hide anything, quite the opposite. It's so that you can actually see if there's any imperfections. Not that you're going to see a lot on this one. Front of the car, lights and lenses, clear and intact. There's no cracks or condensation there. Bonnet, can't see any obvious stone chips at all on there. Near side of the car, very, very smooth in the panel work, really crisp and clean. Near side of front alloy, very, very good. Down. Yeah, just swilled off. It's not been sort of polished or anything. It's got a very sort of natural sheen to it, which you get from a car that's been well looked after. Come around the back, you see tow bar fitted. We hardly ever use it, by the way, but it is on there. And back again, very, very clean and tidy. Off side of the car, lovely and smooth in the panel work, really crisp there. For a car of this age, regardless of the mileage, it's been kept absolutely beautifully. Externally, you have to look for one sort of half its age, in all honesty, to find one as nice as that. Coming to the boot area, really big boots on these cars. Sort of, you've got little levers just to fold the seats down, but they are absolutely cavernous. It's coming into the back now. You can see this gorgeous interior. They are family cars, as you know, as it has been for us, which means the back of them can quite often be quite heavily used. Yet we and the previous owners kept this in absolutely lovely condition. Coming to the front, again, very, very clean, tidy, full set of original Honda mats in the car. As you see there, hardly a mark on it. Finally, driver's door card, again, really clean. Footwell areas there, clean and tidy. For a car of its age, the driver's seat's held up remarkably well. I mean, obviously a tiny bit of wear side in and out, but miles better than most should see. So finally inside the car, engine's running, as always the case, so the dashboard can be seen illuminated. Sorry, there's a little glitch there. Dashboard's in fantastic condition. Sat nav, as you can see, working exactly as it should. Pop the car's reverse, got that lovely clear parking camera, and that complements the front and rear parking sensors. Carrying on down, so it's been kept really, really nicely. So it's a stunning interior in these cars. Hopefully you can see there, 66,795 miles, engine running, and there are no warning lights on the dashboard at all. Finally, just to show you, owner's manual pack and lock and unlock key, all here and present with the car. Right then, this is a quick road test video, and this is for Honda CR-V 2.2 EX diesel, registered RJ62DHZ, with a mileage of 66,795 recorded. The reason we do these videos, very simply, is just to ensure that if anyone's online looking at any of our cars, they get to see that car in operation. And as I mentioned in the walk around video, this is a rare one, but it happens from time to time. This is actually my wife's car. So we know this car very well, done many thousands of miles in it. It's been absolutely fantastic. They always are. She's got another one, exactly the same. Creatures of habit and all that, but they just work perfectly for us. But times to move it on, as we have to do from time to time. And it's a great car. It's been beautifully looked after, in fantastic condition. Push start button, engine starts instantly and settles to a smooth, even idle. There were no warning lights on the dashboard, and nor have there ever been whilst we've had the car. Temperature gauge running as a third, which is exactly where it's meant to be on a Honda car. It is, I think, the nicest diesel they make. You know, I really like the 1.6s, always have done, and they are a great engine as well. But the 2.2 I've got a real soft spot for. It's just so smooth and quiet. It's just very un-diesel-like, actually, the way it drives, because it's got a much broader power band than most diesels have. So you put your foot down, even now just over 1,000 RPM, put your foot down, and it picks up and goes even in sort of relatively high gears. No fluff, no fluster, no delays. But it can keep revving, but when it revs, it doesn't become kind of harsh and gravelly like so many cars, diesels can be. It's a fabulous unit, with just good regular maintenance, and it's certainly had it up to this point. They should last a very long time with and be, you know, reliable throughout. It is a cam chain driven engine, so there's no cam belts to worry about in them at all, by the way. Engine goes through the clutch and gearbox. Clutch on the car, smooth, positive, light. Bike point's exactly where it's meant to be. And then you come on to another brilliant Honda gearbox, 6-speed manual. Positioning of the gear lever, hand falls naturally to it. As you change, it's just a natural movement of your arm rather than sort of being back here where you've got to dislocate your shoulder in some cars. It's also, you know, a gearbox that would go in most other manufacturers' sporty cars. It's short in throw, it's really snappy, it's got a lovely precise actuation to it. The synchro mesh feels brilliant as you engage the gears, and it's all more impressive because it's cable operated, as most modern cars are, but it's far nicer to use than virtually anything else in its class, and that feels exactly as it would have done when it was new, by the way. Then coming on to the steering and chassis, and it's probably the reason I like these so much, and also why they're so popular. It's just so very car-like to drive. By the way, I do apologise, it's a relatively early morning, low sun, so if it's a bit glary, I apologise, but I have to squeeze these videos in as and when I can. But yeah, no, the steering, it's got a nice natural weight to it. It's got it's light enough to be obviously a doddle to manoeuvre around at low speeds, but it's got enough weight to it on the move where it doesn't feel disconnected and vague and nervous in any way, shape or form. It also tracks dead straight. There's no vibrations at this speed or any speed up the legal limit, and temperature gauge, and it just works beautifully with the chassis of the car. So when you go through corners like this one up here, carry a bit more speed than normal, hardly have to turn the wheel. The whole thing's completely unflustered, and that's what's remarkable about the car in lots of ways, and completely missed by a lot of the motoring press. If you want an out-and-out sports car, you have to sort of compromise it slightly by having, generally speaking, quite a sort of firm, unforgiving ride at, you know, the times when you're not in the mood. This, obviously, the design criteria for CR-V is not that. It's to ferry you and your family around comfortably, and it does it brilliantly. It's a very comfortable, well-judged ride. But unlike a lot of its competitors that might go for what feels like very comfortable and comfy, and they are, as long as the road's dead straight and there's no bumps in it. But when you go through corners, even little manoeuvres like this one here, just, you know, turning, they kind of fall over themselves going into the corner. But worse than that, at speed, they get lots of body motion, but particularly sort of secondary motions, and they can be particularly nauseating for rear seat passengers who may not be concentrating on the road ahead. This, you know, we've been all over the place in it, you know, up to the, you know, north of Wales, across some wonderfully challenging roads, and it just eats up, you know, roads which are, you know, hard on cars, you know, lots of camber changes and lots of varying radius corners, and it's very accomplished. Worth pointing out, absolutely no clonks, rattles, anything from underneath the vehicle at all. Brakes on the car are excellent, powerful brake pedal on the car. There's no pulsing, no vibrations coming back through the brake pedal at all. It will be, by the way, heading off for an MOT, and that's done completely independently of us. We've got no input whatsoever into that, as should be the case. So obviously these things are going to be checked as a matter of course. And then finally coming inside the car, the first thing you notice when you get into a CR-V is build quality. I mean, they are beautifully put together cars. Compared to a lot of their competitors, which can feel initially well built, sort of funky sounding doors and squidgy plastics, Honda don't go for that. They go for what they know is going to work over 20-30 years of motoring, and it is brilliantly put together because it's done with thought. So they know it's going to be a family car, so they want to make it easy to clean and wipe down, and so they do all of that. So the upper surfaces, got some softer plastics here, but they're very tough. Down below that you get some harder plastics, which again are much more resistant to being bashed against or skagged, where they sort of rip. The other thing is, when you get in, a lot of customers sort of say they, when they come to see cars, especially the CR-V, if they've not had a car this big before, they're slightly intimidated by how it's going to feel. Everyone that's come back has said how much easier it was to drive place on the road than actually a lot of smaller cars, because you've got really good visibility. Forward I can see the bonnet of the car, which is a minor miracle in this day and age. Huge wing mirrors either side, so easy for sort of lane changing or manoeuvring. And then you've got this lovely dash layout, which is, it's a very highly equipped car, the EX, but it's a car that sort of within a couple of days you've mastered it. It's very easy to work your way around. Sat nav working perfectly, dual zone climate control system down below that, so you can have different temperatures side to side if you really want to. That pumps out absolutely ice cold air, using it on those rare hot days in the summer. All of the switchgear, everything you're going to turn, press, poke, has that lovely high quality feel that you get from Honda cars, and it's designed to last an eternity in that sense. And then dash binnacle in front, simple white on black dials as it should be on cars, so it doesn't distract you, just get the information and look away. And finally this lovely leather bound steering wheel, which feels great in hand. This is a four-wheel drive version of the CR-V. There are no buttons to press because it's completely automatic. Honda worked out very quickly that most people will be driving as I am right now, where you don't need four-wheel drive on. So basically the car is going to run pretty much the whole time in two-wheel drive and front-wheel drive, which is the most efficient way to pull a car along. If it needs to go into four-wheel drive, it does it quicker than you could ever react via the traction control system. So if you lose grip on the front wheels, on snow, mud or ice, whatever, it seamlessly brings in the rear wheels to give you four-wheel drive. The advantages of the system are fairly obvious. It's going to use less fuel, you're going to get through your tyres less quickly, and you put far less mechanical stress through the vehicle. So much so, as I always say in these videos, that we've been selling these cars, CR-Vs. I used to work at Honda for nearly 3 decades, and we have sold thousands of them, and I genuinely can't remember putting a spanner on any of them in terms of the four-wheel drive systems. I can't fault the car in any way, and that's not biased. Genuinely, there's nothing to report on it at all.